Welcome to Thoughts for Growth, a 3 to 15 minute program to inspire, motivate, and or provoke you to see life differently. Brought to you by K-Wave 6 Radio every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, here's your host.
There's a better way, there's a better way. Take one step back and say there's a better way, there's a better way.
Hello and welcome to Thoughts for Growth. This is Kirk Spencer, your host and host of K-Wave 6 Radio. Today we're continuing with our thought, part 2 of happy, part 2 of 2. When we're talking about happy or being happy or happiness, as I asked yesterday, what are your thoughts on happiness? What makes you happy? What can make you happy? We've talked about possessions, politics, religion, business, success, sex, relationships, money. Back to that, because everybody keeps talking about money. Or family. What does make you happy? We have people who are followers of religion, and religion makes them very happy. And they think, a lot of them, not all of them, but many of them think that if you follow the same religion that I do, you will find your happiness. And if you don't accept their idea of happiness, there's something wrong with you, or you're going to go to hell, or whatever the case may be. Politics. People always get involved with politics in one form or another, even if it's just talking over coffee or talking to your favorite taxi driver. I say that in kind of humor because there is a joke about people in barbershops, taxi drivers, and every place else always have a solution for every political problem that we have. But regardless of all of that, we look for politics and politicians to make us happy. Or maybe we're involved in politics and we think that our ways of doing things or our views on life will make everyone happy. Well, at least yourself happy. Business. Business is about money and about success. And if it's traded on the stock exchanges, how to make your investors happy. And it seems to be a never-ending thing about that because you want to stay in business, so you're looking for new ways to sell more, and in the process, nobody seems to take the thought about where do these products come from? Are we raping and damaging our land and our waters to get the products that we want? That's not bringing about happiness on a global scale. Because you can't eat money, you can't eat the products, unless we're talking about foods, but even with that, there's only so much that you can do with these products before you're wondering, hey, I don't have land, I don't have water, I don't have air, and the products that I'm consuming are not really that healthful. We look at community and what's going on in our community. What's good for the community? Is it really good for the community, or is it just your idea that you want to see implemented? We oftentimes, especially now in the U.S., and I would assume some in Europe, we see there is a problem with race riots, religion differences, so on and so forth. And oftentimes, many of us bring that down to a common, sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not, cause or way of identifying it as being a racial issue. Some of it is racial based, some of it is just not taking responsibility for you your community, your society. And it's easier to push the blame off to someone else. Family. Is your family actually helping you to become the better person, or are they asking you to conform? And if that conformity, is it actually making you happy? Are your ideas going to make you happy and your community? And if those who are listening to you when you speak or watch what you're doing, can they see a better way of doing things that will benefit all? Can you stand alone in your decisions to follow your own heart and your own happiness, and explain, if necessary, or even if desired, why you're choosing to go a different way? Why are you choosing to follow a different path? Can you stand alone? Many people can't stand alone and be happy. They feel that they need their family, their friends, their culture, their society, whatever it is, to continue. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but if you're one of those who is wondering, can I actually stand alone and still be happy and still be beneficial to everyone around me? From my personal experience, yes. But there's nothing wrong with being one who is needing to be in a community, whether it be a family or of race or whatever the case may be. Whatever it is you're doing, find your happiness, but also share that happiness and help others to find their own within whatever goals and desires that they have. We also should see the world as a microcosm within a macrocosm. If you want to look at it from a different way, if you don't understand macrocosm and microcosm, look at it as being from looking at life from a cellular point of view to the whole body. From one individual to the whole world, to the whole world, to the whole galaxy to the universe. We are within that realm. If we get on top of a skyscraper and we look down on the street, depending on how tall the skyscraper is, people that are walking on the ground are little dots. Get in a plane and you can't even see the car or a truck. If you're in a commercial airliner traveling at 30,000 feet, you can't even see a truck on the ground. If you're in the International Space Station, you can't even see a city. You can just see where mankind lives, especially at nighttime. The further out you go, the more you see the macrocosm that we live within, and the microcosm is just the lights in the night sky. And if you get far enough away from Earth, you can't even see that. You can see possibly the planet, depending on how far you are away from it. Please, people, think about what we are, where we live. We're on a little blue ball floating in space. And if it wasn't for the sun, if it wasn't for our geomagnetic protective shield, we would not exist. The world is going to go on without us. After you're dead, it continues on, in some form or fashion. It will continue. So how will you live your life here while you have life? Are you going to seek your happiness? Are you going to seek it as something that is selfish? Or are you going to seek happiness for yourself and allow others to find their happiness? Even help them find their happiness. There's two quotes that go along with today's podcast. Now, I'm not Buddhist, but the Buddhist sayings are so very simple and easy to understand. So I'm using those today to bring about an understanding, hopefully that's simple enough for everyone to understand, and is posted on the website along with a Western quotation. The Buddhist quotation is, "Develop the mind of equilibrium. You will always be getting praise and blame, but do not let either affect the poise of the mind. Follow the calmness, the absence of pride." That's from Sutta Nipata. The other one we have comes from Albert Einstein. "If you want to live a happy life, tie it," the it is happiness, "to a goal, not to people or things." Before I close, I do want to actually share some things from Buddha's sayings, and I'm just going to read them very quickly. And hopefully these will resonate with you, and since it's a podcast, you can always play it back. "The greatest achievement is selflessness. The greatest worth is self-mastery. The greatest quality is seeking to serve others. The greatest precept is continual awareness. The greatest medicine is the emptiness of everything. The greatest action is not conforming with the world's ways. The greatest magic is transmuting the passions. The greatest generosity is non-attachment. The greatest patience is humility. The greatest effort is not concerned with results. The greatest meditation is a mind that lets go. The greatest wisdom is seeing through appearances." I hope these resonate with you, and I hope they help you in your growth and in your new year. Be well, take care, see you next year, or hopefully tomorrow's broadcast at 2 p.m. Eastern. Take care and be well, and be happy. Thank you for listening to today's Thoughts for Growth episode. Keep up with what's new on K-Wave 6 Radio by following our blog, following us on Twitter, and liking us on Facebook. All available at www.kwave6, that's the number 6, radio.tk. Again, www.kwave6radio.tk, or if you prefer, www.kwave6radio.wordpress.com.